First of all, I appreciate everyone being here. Obviously, it's a great day for our program, and everybody being here, giving our program some attention. I think that's always exciting for our team. I know our guys have worked extremely hard. Exciting time of the year for all of college baseball. With the season right around the corner, our guys have worked extremely hard. When you one of the great things that we did, and I'm very thankful for our administration allowing us to do it, and the support they've had with the AstroTurf that we put in this summer. And today's a great day to test it. So obviously with a lot of rain today, but I'm excited about 2017. Looking for the challenges that lie ahead. When you look up and down our roster, you're going to see, I believe it's 19 new faces on our team, which, there anytime you take over a program and there's going to be changes and things, as we try to move forward and move the program forward. But certainly excited about how hard our guys have worked. One of the things that we really talked about this fall was last fall was trying to create some competition, inter-team competition, which lots of positions, lots of jobs are still open. So that bodes well for the competition and bodes well for each other, knowing that they have to come out and work hard each and every day. So great challenges lie ahead. You notice on the schedule we've got our first 4 weekends at home this year, which was by design, so we can play as many games as we can on the yard before we get into Conference USA play. So excited about what we've got going on, and certainly looking forward to this year.
How is the turf holding up so far?
It's been great. Today will be a great test. I mean, it's when I talk to people about putting that in, they said it'll change your life, and it certainly has. I don't have to sit there and watch a TV screen and watch a big green blob go across, wondering whether I have to put the tarp on or not. And we don't have to worry so much. Our players love it. They don't get that 7 a.m. wake up call wondering, hey, we got to put the tarp on, and it's so convenient. I feel like a basketball or football coach, when practice is over with, we leave the field, we're done with practice, and we can move on to something else. And it really, really allows us to focus, our time, energy, and attention on other details and other things with the program. So it's worked out great. And it's an adjustment period. It really is, for our players, for our coaching staff. We're still trying to figure everything out, the nuances of it, but hence 4 conference or 4 non-conference games being played at home beginning of the season. That's one of the reasons why we're doing that.
John, I've got one. How often do you remind yourself, with so many new guys, I've got to be patient, I've got to be patient, I've got to be patient? And then, of course, there's the other side of it that, hey, this is competitive nature, you want to win. How much of a balancing act?
It's always difficult. As a coach, we all want satisfaction now. We all want to be at the top of the pinnacle now. There's no better time, I say to our staff, to win than now. But when you see the young faces and the new players that we have, there is a process in place, and it's a building process, but we know that these players have bought into what we're trying to do. It's tough sometimes, but knowing that it's a long process, the development of especially some of the younger guys, you want to win right now, especially for the older guys, the guys that have been in the program, the guys that have been through the transition going into Conference USA. We really in the 2 years in the conference, we haven't earned any stripes yet. We've need to make some headway in the conference, and so it's a challenge. It's a balancing act. We definitely want to win now. The coaches, the players, the fans, and that's our goal, right? And that's our mindset, our motto right now.
Coach, your bullpen's very deep. How big of a boost will that be for you guys on this season?
Well, I think when you look at our team, there's a couple things that are going to be really important. offensively, I feel like we've got some really some moving pieces, some weapons that maybe we didn't have in the past offensively. So I like our offense. The pitching staff is always going to be, you're only going to be as good as you pitch. And Jackson Sal obviously returns in the back of the bullpen. Ben Morrison, who did not pitch at all for us last year, is coming off surgery, and we hope that he'll be ready probably right around conference time. That would be a great boost to our pitching staff. And then Caleb Bruner, who was out a good part of last year. If we can get both, he'll be back probably the second week of the season. So if we can get Bruner back, Morrison back, and Thomas Peter is obviously a position player that was having a great year before he got injured last year. So those three guys are going to play major roles for us. All three of them stay healthy and can contribute as much as we think they can.
How much of a goal is making that conference tournament this year?
It's a goal. It was a goal last year, and that's a staple of what we set out from the first day we get on the practice field, is that our goal is to make the conference tournament and go into postseason play. And the realistic goals of going there every year are there in our program. Our players, they want to win. They are going to put every effort into it, and they've done a good job. But sure, that's our goal every year, and it's a great conference. When I got here, everyone talked about the pitching staff of this league and how good it was. I thought last year was more of an offensive league, to be honest with you. I thought more teams swung the bats well last year. And you look at the SEC had, or the ACC had 10 teams getting the NCAA regionals last year. The SEC had 7. And then the next conference was Conference USA. We had 4 teams getting the regionals along with the Pac-10. So, it's a great league. It's a great challenge. And to make that conference tournament would be a great step for our program.
Coach, I know a lot of people don't look at the preseason polls or keep up with things like that, but when you're picked 12th out of 12, you kind of use that as motivation, or maybe put it in the clubhouse for all the players to see.
Well, one of the things is that as a coach, I don't get caught up in it. I know when it was told to me that we were picked 12th in one poll, I sent out a message to the team, and I said, you guys don't need any more motivation than you're going to see tomorrow. And whether we picked 12th by one poll, 9th by Kendall Rogers, Division D1 baseball, it really doesn't matter. What matters is that they're focused and the attention is on attention to detail to try to get better. I would hope that they have an axe to grind. I really do, and I think those guys, especially the older guys, are keeping it in perspective and understand. And but to be honest with you, when you finish 11th, which we did last year, the year before we finished 12th, we really haven't earned any stripes, like I said, in conference, and so wherever they pick you is really doesn't matter to us. But you have to go off your track record a little bit, and our track record in the 2 years in the league has not been where we need it to be.
Do you think a lot of the reason you were picked that low was maybe because you have so many new players and people just really didn't know what to expect with you?
I'm sure. When you lose your best hitter and Danny Hodzina, and Danny had a great year, and you lose 2 out of your 3 weekend starters, and Josh Bartley and Austin King, those are 3 big pieces of your puzzle. It's tough to replace 2 weekend starters and your best hitter. So I'm sure they had something to do with it, but I don't, like I said, as a staff, we talked about it for a minute and we moved on to the next phase of it.
John, you got asked about the field. As far as the playing surface, do you coach any differently, specifically like late game situations, or is baseball in your mind?
No, I think it's playing on that surface changes how you defend more than you offensively, because what happens, the ball gets on you really quick, so you can play your infielders back a little bit deeper. The left side of our infield will play a little deeper. The ball gets to him a lot quicker. I don't necessarily know that offensively we coach differently. We like to try to get some more speed in the outfield. I think that's a key factor because the ball's going to get through there really quick. But from an offensive standpoint, not going to do too much different, but it's more from the defensive standpoint.
You bring in Michael Hicks and add him to the program. What sort of things did you like about him as a pitcher at sophomore? What do you expect from him?
Well, when you know, one of our goals recruiting wise was to try to get some bigger bodies in here. And Michael's a big physical, 6'5" right-handed pitcher that he's got a real nice upside to him. We've seen him pitch a bunch of times, and I think he's going to be I know he's a great addition to our program, and he's going to contribute this year. So it's how quickly he develops against good competition, but it's hard not to like the upside being 6'5" right-handed, and he can touch 87, 88, as a young freshman. That bodes well for him and for our program.
See more maybe a midweek guy this early?
Yeah, in the beginning of the year, I don't really know. Guys always try to figure out what their roles are, and to me, it's just get somebody out. Go out there. The more you get guys out, the more you're going to find your roles. Our roles are not defined yet in the pitching staff, which is a good thing. We got a lot of competition, but I think eventually he's got a chance to be a starter here in the program. Whether it's early in this year or not will remain to be seen.
Out of all these junior college guys you brought in, any particular stand out to you as guys that really make a big impact?
Well, I think, in the outfield we have C.C. Coley Curry, who from Walter State, left-handed hitter, leadoff hitter type guy, can really run, can cover some ground in the outfield. I think he's going to be an impact guy for us in center field. T-Rod, Tyler Robertson from John A. Logan, junior college second baseman. I believe he was the conference player of the year. He's going to be a very good player for us. Got to get him back on the field. He dropped some weights on his fingers in the weight room, so he's going to be out for a little bit. We think he'll be ready to play here maybe next week. And then on the mound, Paul Kirkpatrick is a guy who I think is going to have an immediate impact. Played with Great Britain in the World Baseball Classic here in the fall. Had an opportunity to pitch with them, and I think the other one more guy is our first baseman Nate Methvin, who's competing with Grayson Ivy. Both of those guys at first base, big left-handed hitter from Tyler, Texas. So I think there's probably 4 or 5 junior college guys that are going to be have an immediate impact in our program this year.
Is that all good for Coach? Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.